There are other things you can do without you touching an IDE. So let me say, I don't want to say some technical jargons actually. So IDE is an application template that you use to write program, basically, and we have a lot of them. So I was trying to explain to him that it's not all tech, all tech inclined person or tech inclined personnel or people that work in that ecosystem that actually have something to do with coding. You can be in tech and you don't even have to do anything with coding. So today I'll be showing you, I'll be taking you through the journey of how you can kickstart your tech journey with or without coding. Depends on your passion. I will share my screen in a moment, and first and foremost, I would like to say a big thank you to the organizer of this great event, Pat Paz. Can everyone see my screen? Please, if you can see my screen, I would like you to just put a question there. If you can see my screen, just say yes so that I can, or probably just, nice. Okay, good, thank you. The skill and tool proficiency that you need in the pathway you have chosen, the growth and trend and salary insights. These are what I'm going to share with you. It now depends on, because I'm going to take you through the whole parts, the whole skills in this ecosystem. I'm going to tell you the salary insights. I'm going to tell you the industry best practice. What does the industry wants? What do they want you to have? If you claim yourself to be software engineer, what are companies expected from you? If you train yourself to be a product designer, what are the expectations that the company out there are expecting you to have? I'm going to show you how you can network yourself, how you can join some community, how you can attract yourself to mentoring, how you can attract yourself to mentorship under someone that has gone ahead, how you can actually, build yourself up to be a mentor to people. Then I'll also show you the future trend and innovations in this ecosystem. Our agenda is, I will introduce it to you now. Then number one, we're going to be talking about the introduction. There is a need for us to understand what tech is. You need to understand where tech starts and where it stops. At what job description will you see on LinkedIn? What job description will you see on Jobberman in Nigeria? What job description will you see on Indeed? And you say, no, this is not tech inclined. I'm going to be showing you that. I'm going to be explaining to you the importance of tech skill in today's world. Why do we need to be in tech? I must tell you, the people that are in tech now, I must tell you, we are not enough, because there are a lot of, I won't call it problem now. There are a lot of challenges, a lot of situations that needs to be resolved, that needs to be solved. So the ecosystem is not evenly distributed at this time. We need a lot of young men, a lot of creative minds. We need a lot of world changer to come into this field and contribute and add value to this ecosystem. I'll be taking you through the tech pathway explore, the next steps, the roadmap and resources there to get started, the continuous learning and setting actionable goals. Then at the end of the day, we're going to be having a question and answer section. At that section, you're going to be free to ask me any questions. Like I said to you, I've been in this field for more than 7 years. I'm a software developer. Currently, I work with a company based in US, and I've also done a lot of projects. I've done several projects. So ask me any questions, and I'm ready to give you listening here. So let's start. Now, when you hear the word tech, what comes to your mind? Some people will say it's about coding, it's about programming. And I put it to you today, like I said earlier, it's not all about that. There are more to tech. And today I'll be unleashing the hidden things that we all need to know when we hear the word tech. For instance, all of us, we joined this team meeting, we joined this Zoom meeting from everywhere in the world. Currently, I'm in the United Kingdom. I know some people are in Dubai, some people are in Nigeria, some people are in England, some people are in Wales, some people are in Swansea that are on this meeting. And I tell you, we have something in common. We have a major issue in common, a major situation. I won't call it problem. When recruiter wants to, want to employ you, they will tell you to sell yourself. And some people will say, I'm a problem solver. You understand? So I don't actually call it a problem because it's not when you know how to navigate yourself through a situation. I don't call it a problem any longer. I just call it a situation. I call it a challenge. So now we have a common challenge in this world, and the common challenge that we have is temperature, as it is in the United Kingdom. Even when we say we are in spring or we are in winter or we are in summer, we still see sometimes rainfall. In Nigeria, around December or around, was it around August, me like that, we say Nigeria is in dry season. And even in some dry season, you will see that we still have rain. And there's a challenge. And the challenge is, how can we handle it ourselves? What are the solutions that we can create that can prevent rain from hindering my day in out activities? What are the things I can put in place that when I do that thing on my phone, when I do that thing on my web application, it tells me that, guy, there's going to be rain today. As such, it informs my decision on where to wear, on what to wear, on the kind of shoe to put on the kind of clothes to put on. This is applicable to everyone, irrespective of the company or of the country you are currently residing in. Now, I have a problem here. Let me quickly share my screen. I'm using this to give you the importance of tech skill in today's world. There are a lot of challenges that we are here to solve, but I'm just giving you this to actually introduce you to what the tech ecosystem is all about. There is a situation here. We understand that we currently have issues with temperature, issue with weather. Now, I want to safeguard myself as a tech inclined personnel, as somebody that has already started creating value in the tech ecosystem. It might not even be me. It might be someone that is enthusiastic in tech, that love the word tech, and wants to do one or two things from there. So I'm going to be sharing this now. It says, design a system to handle the prediction of rainfall of rainfall based on the temperature input by the user. It says, validate the inputs, check the temperature range, and provides corresponding weather prediction, including the possibilities of rain. So what this is telling us is, somebody comes to you and he says, can you help me? This is for me to introduce you into the world of tech, basically. And I'm here to give you the importance of why we need to create value. We need to come into this ecosystem, irrespective of your background. Someone will be saying, I don't know mathematics. I heard that programming is all about mathematics. Tech is all about mathematics, it's all about physics, chemistry, and the likes. That is not true. No matter who you are, no matter your background, no matter the qualification you have in school, even if you study Yoruba, even if you study Igbo, even if you study marketing, you have a place in tech. And I'm here to prove it to you. And I will also do a lot of, navigation. I will navigate you through on how to get your feet in this ecosystem. Now, like I said earlier, we have a unique, or I would say we have a common, let me say, a common challenge, a common issue, a common situation, which is weather. And I say, someone comes to me. Let's say someone comes to me, someone that has passion for tech, and he says, what can you do about this? How can you build me a system that will pre-inform me that, guy, today, when you are going out, go with your raincoats, go with your waterproof shoe, because there's going to be rain. And someone asked me to design such system for him or her. And this is the issue scenario. This is, we call it user case or user story. And this is the user can be anybody. It gives you the story. Now you take the story and you put it. He said, design a system to handle the prediction of rainfall based on the temperature input by the user. So this first line states that the user wants to be able to input a value. You want to go to Google and say, what is the temperature in Nigeria today? And whatever Google gives you, you want to input that value in this system. And you want this system to tell you that you should not go out without raincoat today because there's going to be rain. Or you want the system to tell you that go out, there's not going to be rain today. That is what we want to resolve. Now, he said, validate the input, check the temperature range, and provide the corresponding weather prediction, including the possibility of rain. That is what we want to achieve. Now, because of our time, I've pre-coded the solution here. So what I have here is just an HTML. I'll be going there. Don't worry. Don't worry. Even if you are not a tech inclined from scratch, don't worry. You're going to want this. Is going to be a nice section. It's going to be it's going to be a life-changing section for you. Don't worry about that. Just follow me. So I have an HTML here, and I have another code that undo the scenario. So what this code undo is it checks what's so it says if the temperature is 0.0 and the temperature is less than 10, it says you should say the tendency, because when you know that the temperature is below 10, automatically it's possible that you have rain. When you have a temperature of 1 or 2, especially in the place like Nigeria, no, because Nigeria normally is a very hot country. So when you have a temperature that is as low as 7 or 5, we should expect rain. It's only miracle that will not make rain, that will not, that would prompt rain not to fall in that area at that time. And there is another scenario here that says when you have a temperature that is between 10 to 20, you say it's possible there is rain, and it's possible there may not be rain. So the system is telling you, because it's in between, it's telling you you can either go out with your raincoat or your waterproof shoe, or you leave it behind, because there is 50-50 chance that there's going to be rain. Then there's another one that says if the temperature is 20, if the temperature is between 20 and 30. So when we see, especially in a place like Nigeria, when you have the temperature like 30 or above 30 in some cases, you should know that there's going to be a serious sun. And even people that stays in UK, when you have a temperature that is above 30, I'm not even sure there is any temperature like that. Even in summer, you should know that today there is not going to be rain. So that is the solution we want to provide. Now I'm going to run this on the browser now. Now look at it. It tells me weather prediction. Now, if I go to Google now, let me go to Google now and ask the question temperature in Wales. So if I ask the question temperature in Wales, now it give me 16. Now I can pick this 16. Just like if you're in Nigeria, you can do the same. You can type temperature in Nigeria, and this kind of system will give you what you should expect. So it says 16. So I can even put 16.0 up 16. Now see what it's telling me. It says tendency to either rain or not. So it's telling me it's because the system has designed that whenever the temperature is between 10 to 20, so the tendency is there might be rain, there might not be rain. So you can see, in a way, I've solved that problem. It means whenever that user, okay, now if I should have 1 here, it's telling me, guy, there's going to be rain because your temperature is 1. Now if I put 29 here, now I say tendency not to rain, but much sun. It's telling me that there's no tendency that there's going to be rain, but there's going to be sun. So in this scenario, it's telling me that go with a light cloth. Don't go with raincoat or waterproof shoe. That is what tech can do. So in a way, I've been able to solve the problem of my user or my tech enthusiastic user, somebody that loves tech, somebody that wants to, do a lot of things with tech. Like I told you earlier, I said that is a challenge. Now I want to tell you, this code that I put here, this code that you are seeing here, normally, ideally, is not done by a single tech professional. So let me put it again. What I've put here, this code that I've put here, one of the job in the world that has area of specialization that doesn't say if you are employed for one, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When they employ you for one, they want you to stick to one. All what I've put here, this single solution that we're trying to solve is a function of more than one tech feed. Somebody that is not tech inclined can be a product designer and can actually write these out. The person is in tech. Tech is all encompassing. Tech has a field called product designing. Your own is to meet users that want problem to be solved. They tell you what they want to do and you put it down. Your own is just to put it down. That is what I've done here. So let's take this one as tech feed 1. This is tech feed 1. This is a job description in tech. Somebody that writes issues. Your own is just to write issues. When there is any problem, the product designer pick the problem, writes the issues out for the developer to understand. Now, what I've put here, the second part that I've put here, this one that you can see here, that actually shows this page, is the function of who we call front-end developer. This one here is the function of front-end developer. Can you see in this single issues that we're trying to solve, we have already picked two different tech feeds out already. Now, coming to this side, from here to here, this is another job description of another tech field, which is called backend developer. Can you see? Amazing. Tech is very simple because it has job specialization. You are not permitted to do everything. You are not jack of all trade. No matter who you are, no matter what you claim to know, even if it's small, you can read and write. At least you can, when somebody tells you I'm passing through a challenge, you can pick that challenge and think about it. How can I solve this thing for this person? And you're able to put it down. You are doing a tech feed job. Simple. You are doing something. You're already in tech, basically. Now, there's another one here. So when you see now this part, I said this part is another feed, which is called backend developer. And there's another one here. When you look at it very well, I said the system is requesting for users to input a data. When you look at it here, I input something, and it gave me something. So when you input something and it gives you something, you should know that somebody can, we have people that want to, this is a data, right? I input a data to get an outcome. When you want to produce something, you input an existing stuff, what already exists, to predict what will happen. That thing that you put, that's data that you put that already exists, you understand, is called data. You understand? And in the world that we are in now, we are in the world of data. Data is not, we have people that want to hijack your data. In that way, when the persons that own this project notice that this app that the tech feed guys has built for me, there might be a time that people might want to hijack people requests. What I'm putting here is called requests. You understand? And use it to manipulate whatever thing. What do I need to do? At that time, you need a cybersecurity expert on a single project. You have 4 different tech feeds now. 4 different tech feeds. Now, you might look at it again. I said, I still want to give you another 3 jobs from here. Now, you might look at it and said, there's somebody that needs to marry all these things together. The person that will deploy the whole work, make everything move smoothly, make everything work very well. That person that will do that is who we call DevOps. On this single problem, we have more than 6 tech fields that we can bring out from there. How powerful is tech? How amazing is tech? It means no matter what you claim to know, if you are the guy that your passion is, I want to write code, you are in. If you are the guy that said, my passion is, I want to be able to secure user data, cybersecurity, you are in. If you are the guy that said, my own is, I don't like to write code at all, I just want to turn user story to something that people will be able to build, you are in, product designer. If you're the guy that says, what I don't like server side, because basically what this guy is doing here is called server side, is requesting something. If you can look at it, it says server. You don't like to interact with server. What you just want to do is you like to play with color. You are a person that has passion for graphic designing. Believe you me, you can do amazingly well in front-end development. Look at how huge this is. So I use this to actually introduce the tech ecosystems to you, the different parts, different types of field you can choose in tech. Tech is not limited. As we move on, I'm still going to be showing you, opening your mind. I know some of you will be saying, wow, so I tell you, we still have a lot to unleash. Now, let me go back to the presentation. So this is to tell you that important. So tech is needed today because, as you can see, on that single project, on that single solution that we want to build, we have carved out more than 6 tech fields. It means we need you today, irrespective of who you are, irrespective of your course of study. What we need from you is, what can you do conveniently? Simple. For instance, somebody like me, I like to write code. I'm the kind of guy that I want you to write something for me. I hate when it comes to reading textbook. I don't like reading novel. I know some people that love to read novel. If you love to read novel and just something down from that novel, you are needed in tech. You can be a product designer conveniently. Now we'll move forward. Now I want to actually, so that it won't be as if I'm saying something you are not familiar with. So let me quickly bring it to this. So this is the tech pathway explore. So we have tech fields here, like the one I've explained now. The one I've explained is software engineering. And in software engineering, what we have done is web. You can also say you want the user to be able to access that thing that we have done with web on mobile. So the person that marries the two together is called DevOps. So we said if you want to secure those things that the web, the mobile has built, you need cybersecurity. You understand? So in future, you may say, those data that I have a lot of data. How can I say, now that you have built a system that took in data, and you want to use that data to predict what will happen in the next 10 years. At that point, you need somebody called data scientists. So these are what we have. This is product designer here. We need this. Now let me go back there. There's something I actually forgot to explain to you. Now, when you look at this again, when you look at this again, before you submit this project to your client, now you have built it based on the specification. This is the specification here, and you have built it. You need somebody that will test it, that will say, before we send it to the person that owns the project, let's see if the application or if the solution is working the way the client has stated in the user story that the product designer has put together. The person that will do the testing is called quality assurance. Imagine. It means when you see a product, for every time you go to Google, for every time you go to Facebook, your timeline, and type something there, and what you type there was what you see when you post it. a lot of things has gone, like a lot of things are in place. Different tech fields has worked. Different tech professionals, DevOps, software engineer, front-end, front-end developer, back-end developer, QA, product designer. They've done something for you. Now look at the numbers of applications we have in the world. Look at the number of companies that does techs that we have in the world. Now look at how many people are in this particular ecosystem. Do you see that we need more hands? There is a need for more hands in this ecosystem. And I put it to you today. I said it again, that irrespective of who you are needed in this ecosystem. Now I go again, and I'm actually trying to jog through everything so that you can actually understand where I'm going, where I'm coming, because I'm still going to a very bigger place, and I want you to understand. Now, there's something here that I've put something here. I said, no matter the tech parts you feel to choose, I've stated it. I said, no matter your background, if you are the type that like to write story, you are the type that like to comprehend story and put something down, you are needed. You are the type that you just like to test what somebody has done, you are needed. You are the type that you like cyber side, you are but the guy that like networking, cyber, just making something secure, just making arrangement for something, you are needed. And I put it here, I said, no matter the path you have chosen, the core central of tech is value. I said, the value you add to people should be the primary determinant of which tech skill you choose to develop. You don't just say, I want to be this. See, let me put it to you. Passion is not enough. I've asked some few questions with people, and I asked them, do you like tech? They tell me yes. Why do you want tech? Some say money. Some will tell me passion. And the question I actually ask them is, people that actually tells me money, that because they know that some people are collecting in pounds, they are collecting in dollars, they are collecting in euros. That is why they want to venture into tech. What happens when you don't see that money? Does it mean you are going to back out? People that tells me passion, yeah, I love that. You have to follow your passion. What happens when the going get tough? One thing I will emphasize here is consistency. Whatever stealth skills you plan to choose, the fuel that manage that vehicle is consistency. And that's why I put it. I said, consistent effort in adding values to others will sustain you in the long run. I started 7 years ago, and I will tell you several times I've quit, like several times. And I'll be like, what is going on? Actually, when you try to write a code and the code is not, you are trying to write it B, and the thing is giving you B apostrophe S, and you be like, am I sure this is the right path for me? Be consistent. Nothing good comes easy. Something must push you. And what should push you is the value. Like I've told you now, like I've explained now, I said, we have so many things to do. And the ecosystem is, people that are there are not enough. If you have if you have the passion for people, if you have the burning, like the heart burn to actually add values to people in you, I will tell you, come to tech. There are a lot of things you can do. There are a lot of things you can do. What will always fuel the vehicle of your passion is consistency, focus. So focus on the meaningful impact and prioritize the call to contribute positive to people's life. And always prioritize the call to contribute to people's life. Like the solution we have built now, yeah, you may collect money for it, but I tell you, you have been able to solve somebody's problem. Somebody will go out and the person will know that there's going to be rain, and the person will put on put the raincoat in his or her bag. Somebody who goes out and will know that there's going to be rain, and the person will wear a waterproof shoe. I tell you, you have had values to that life. As many people that will be using that app, you have added value to their life. And I tell you, what will keep you going in this field, what will keep you moving in this field, is when you would remember the value you want to add to people. So what comes first is personal. What do I want to do? What is the technical skill I want to do? I'm still going to highlight, a lot of them. Don't worry if you have not seen what you want to do. I'm going to highlight a lot of them as we progress. But for now, I've shown you few of them. Start writing something down based on what I've shown you. Search in your mind. What are the things you can do conveniently? Where is your passion? Where is your strength? Some people can take, can accommodate details, information. Some people cannot. Some people like, just give me this thing, let me go. Just give me this, let me go. Those people that says, just give me this, let me go. They can never be a product designer. Because as a product designer, you need to, you need to understand even what people does not take cognizance of. You need to understand it. You need to pay attention to details. Look at yourself at this point and jot something down. Write it down, because I'm still going to ask you as we progress. Now, on my next slide. Okay, no, sir. Okay, so I have it here. I said tech roadmap and resources needed. He said predictive tech field salary from 2010 to 2050. What I'm just trying to do here is to motivate you, basically, because I'm still going to be talking about some other challenges that you can face in this tech. I won't lie to you. There are challenges, basically. Like I just explained to you, there are times that I felt this thing is not for me, but now I'm here. Now, there's analysis that I've done. I actually scrapped this data myself, and I actually put up this together to show us what's being in tech, what you stand to gain when you are in tech, even in the long run. From 2010 to 2023 and 2050, it says people that will be in software engineering. That is this. Can you see that? It says this will be their salary. When you look at it now, you see that the salary grows. It means salary starts from 50,000 average salary to 250,000. This is in dollars. What this is saying is that you can never miss it if you come to tech. But what I will emphasize on, don't just come into tech. Come with what you feel you can, come with your strengths. Choose the tech part that best suits your condition, basically, that best suits your personality, that best choose who you are. Now, I actually have a SWOT analysis here, a personal SWOT analysis. So SWOT means strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. So when you look at yourself, when you look at all those skills that I've put in place, I've actually explained. We have software engineering. Under software engineering, we have web, we have mobile, we have DevOps, we have cybersecurity. I've told you what they do. We have network, we have IT support, we have blockchain, we have cloud, we have data science. We have, this is augmented reality, we have virtual reality, we have artificial intelligence, we have machine learning, we have games, we have IoT. Now, having considered all those, and having considered what you tend to gain if you come to this field, this is still year 2023. And we have forecast, we have predicted till 2025. It means that at every point, every year, look at what we have here. There is a drastic increase of $25,000 here. It means if you are in any of these fields, tech fields, you can never get it wrong. If you start your salary now, with, let's say you start with $10,000, or let's say you start from you start with $10,000 now. Probably, let's say, for instance, this year, 2023 to 2024, it means by the time you get to 2025, 2026, you will never come down. Like, it keeps going up. It keeps going up. And this that I've given to you, actually, I wrote a script to crawl the information on the web, and I put it up in an Excel to analyze it, and it gave me this chart. So I'm putting it to you that what I've put here is nothing but reality. So everything I'm telling you on this meeting is real. If you're able to dive into any of these tech skills, you will never get it wrong. But please understand your SWOT personal analysis. And what this means is, it's a current skill. You can be somebody that love programming language. You like to program. That might be your interest and passion. Your interest can be, maybe you have passion for writing codes. Your own might be you just like to analyze things. You are the type that like to look at data, and you want to predict based on that data. You want to be able to predict what will happen. I never knew I'm going to be because I actually did my master's in data science in United Kingdom here, and I've been able to use so many machine learning algorithms, so many machine learning models to predict future. Basically, what I've predict in my life now, I predict some years that I'm not sure I will still be in life by that time. I predict what will happen in a particular field, in a particular field. I predict what will happen there till 2090, 2080. That is the power of this ecosystem. When I was in university, there is during my master degree, during my projects, my degree project, we're asked to choose a topic. And what I chose is how to predict weather condition using the past 10 years data to predict the next 10 years. When I was doing that year, I think it was around year, if I'm not mistaken, 2012 or 2013, but I think 2011, 2012. I would never have believed that I can become somebody that will be able to predict even more than what I predicted when like 10, 15 years back. So to me, I was able to identify on time that I have passion for programming, and that is my strength. You understand what I'm saying now? I was able to understand that. Now, I notice also that my weakness is I'm not able to manage my time. We have people like that. See, irrespective, you can actually pick your biro and your paper now, write your SWOT personal analysis. Tell yourself the truth. I will tell you, no matter what you want to achieve in this ecosystem called tech, you can achieve it. You can create value. You can have money. You can have wealth. This field we pave way for you, I tell you. But something I want you to do today is to understand your strengths, your weakness, your opportunity, and your threats. These are what I did 10 years ago. These are what I did 12 years ago. I sit back and I look at myself, and I believe that, I see myself writing program, using programming to solve issues. That was when I know, okay, I may not be able to do anything as I am. If you give me novel to read, I tell you, I won't read chapter 1. I won't read chapter 1, the first page to 5, I will sleep. It's not just that is not like I see that as my weakness. So definitely I can't do something that will make me to say I want to be writing, and I want to be writing novel. I can't be a storyteller. I can't be a marketer. I can't be somebody that you need to read so many information. I can't see myself. But what I can do, even when you wake me, when you don't even give me food, just give me problem. Tell me the challenge that you want to do, and we need to write code to do. You have given me what I know how to eat. So I see my strength in writing program, using program to solve day in, day out challenges. I pick that. I look at it. What is my weakness? I know I have issues with reading novels like that. I know I have issues with that, and in some cases too, I have issues managing my time. You understand? And I also see that sometimes I have issues trying to manage. Like, I don't multitask. Basically, I like to face one thing and do that thing. You can't see me and say, I want to be writing program, doing programming, and I also want to be a marketer. I will flop. So I see that as my weakness. So what I did is I understand that I love programming and I channel all my energy to that. I pick that specific area and I channel all my energy there. It says opportunity. Now, 10 years ago, I was able to look at it that if I venture into this tech, as time goes, this tech is not something that will end. I want to give you an hint today. I know this is going to be a life-changing experience. I put it to you today. In the next 10, 15, 20, 50 years, so many things are even finished. So many, even in tech, something can start filling up. But data, machine learning, data science, data analysis will never fade off. That is what I've seen. So I look at the trend now, even in tech. What is possible to sustain even when other things died? QA engineer, quality assurance engineer, product designer, because people will always want to develop something. It will stay. While some other things goes, those ones will stay. I was able to analyze that 12 years ago, that definitely if I be in this tech is not coming to, it's not going to end even in the next 20 years. That is why I've chosen it. I see an opportunity there and I maximize it. I also look at the threats. What could be the issues? There was a time that during those times I was just learning basically. So I got into a company and the company didn't have much how will I call it now? They don't have much space, like much they couldn't accommodate my deficiency like that, because then I was still picking up. And they were saying, guy, I look at, I have to look at myself and say, man, I'm not sure I can actually function in this place. I have to withdraw and took out time to, to buttress what I've known, to learn more on my tech skill. So in some cases, economic shifts can affect you. It's a threat. In that way, you have to look at it. What happened if there's any economic shift? If a company is downsizing, if something is going on, what can you do? Is a standing threat. You need to look at that. You need to write it out. What can sustain you during those times? What happened when I'm calling on everybody now, even if you don't have tech background, I'm calling on everybody to come in. Then there's a trend that says, what happened when there is high level of competition in this tech field? What happened? How do you stand out? I look at myself and I said, no, I can't continue to be a junior developer. I have to do what senior developer does and make me to migrate from being a junior developer to a senior developer. Then I will be open to so many opportunities. And that is what I've done. So it's not enough for you to choose a tech path. It's not enough. It's not enough for you to say, this is my strength. I love this. It's not enough for you to look at the market trend. To say, yeah, there's opportunity here. You'd also need to look at what happened. Now that we have a lot of AIs, I tell you, even with the invention of AIs now, a friend of mine was telling me that I hope we will still have job in the next 10 years. Because even if you want to develop anything, just go to ChatGPT and type it there. It will give you. I said, guy, there's a chance. And the chance is there are things there are things that ChatGPT cannot do. And number one, what ChatGPT cannot do is ChatGPT cannot give you logic. It cannot give you logic. It can only help you through it. If you look at ChatGPT, if you look at, I don't know. If you look at the footer side of ChatGPT, you will see a disclaimer there. You can check it now. You will see a disclaimer. There's a disclaimer there. They know what they are doing. ChatGPT is using myself and your own data to serve others. When you go to ChatGPT today, ChatGPT basically use machine learning algorithm. When you go to ChatGPT today and you type something there, you can type what is cream, and it gives you cream is this, and you say cream is also this. Can you explain more? That thing that you say cream is also this. Can you explain more? It stores it, and when somebody asks ChatGPT, probably in India, if the person say what other thing is cream, ChatGPT will give that person your answer. Because you have already said, you know that that cream is also this. It will store it and also compare it with other people's feedback. That is why they need more people to use the AI, so that the more data the AI have, the more answer it will be able to provide to users. And AI is basically built on algorithm, machine learning, data science. So basically, it cannot write your logic for you. The system still need a product designer that will design a product and give it somebody that will be able to interpret. Okay, so if the client want this, then I need to provide an input feed that the user will enter the value. Then I need to check the input feed. What if the user enters, what if I'm expecting number and the user enters alphabet? What happened? These are the function of a QA. It means ChatGPT cannot take the place of a QA engineer. Look at it very well, and you will see niche for you. You will see what you can do differently for you. Now I move to my next slide. I said, what are the smart personality goals? Fine. Like I told you before, I said, highlight what you feel you can do based on your passion, based on your SWOT personal analysis, based on what I've explained to you ahead. And we come to smart personal goal. Smart means what are the specific, measurable, achievement, and relevant time bound that you want to use to achieve that thing you have actually highlighted, that you have put down. If by now you have put down, I think I like product designer, I think I like QA, I think I like software engineer. These are what you can actually do to achieve that. He said, number one, learn specific. Learn, choose a field which you have done and learn on that field that you have chosen. There are several ways that you can learn. You can seek for mentorship. There are communities. There is nothing that you want to build. There is nothing that you want to do that somebody has not done before. It means you can always see somebody that can mentor you to do something measurable. He said, complete a recognized complete a recognized skills or a certification on that thing that you have chosen. He said, and build a project link, project or LinkedIn, like build a portfolio in marketing. When you go to market a product, they ask you, they will tell you after you market the product, you will say, this is my card. In tech, we don't do that. We don't have a card. We don't have a complimentary card in tech. Do you know what we have? LinkedIn. When you finish advertising yourself to a recruiter, what you will tell them is, guy, take my LinkedIn account. Whatever thing you feel you are, whatever thing you want to achieve, whatever thing you have in your mind, whatever value that you want to create, whatever niche that you want to create in this ecosystem, right? Create a LinkedIn account is very, very important. And put all those things there. Number three, achievable. Dedicate so hours. You look at yourself. How many hours do I want to dedicate for this thing I have chosen? You have chosen to be a product designer. How many hours do I want to be doing this? Because you need to be determined. Like I said, consistency is the key. You look at yourself, I can't back out. There are people's life that I want to add value to. I can't back out. What can I do to achieve this? Put yourself into learning. How many hours are you, do you set aside for that particular passion, for that particular skill that you say you want to learn? After you have chosen the skill parts, there's a need for you to set aside number of hours, maybe per week, per month, and you check yourself against that. Then there's another one. He said relevance. Look at how will this skill help to transform my career? Does this skill align with my interests? So. They look at it. This thing time bound. I want to finish this thing in the next 1 year. When I had issue with that company, I backed out, I withdrew, and I gave myself 6 months straight. In that 6 months, I was still working remotely with some companies. But then I told myself, I said, me being a junior developer is giving me problem. There's a need for me to migrate from being a junior to senior. And I use this smart personal goal. Within 6 months, I want to achieve being in this level. You put a clause to it. I'm starting today. I'm starting now. I'm starting tomorrow. I'm starting next tomorrow. And you put an end date to it. Whatever you refuse to put end dates to, you abuse it. Your project, your ambition, the tech skill path that you will choose today, or that you have chosen already, the learning curve that you use to go into it must be time bound. You must have something that you must have what you want to achieve. Okay, by this time I must have achieved this. The 4 degrees of action. Before then, I need to show you something here. Okay, so I'll highlight here. When you are doing something, they will tell you what are the most compulsory things to have when you want to choose this path. What are the things that even if you have this basic thing, what are the things that is good to have? What are the things that you must have? I've highlighted it here. So if you want to be a software engineer, based on what I've described above, A software engineer is the one that develop, test, and maintain software application, building software, building systems, software, application softwares, or embedded software. So you can either be a front-end developer, which is a web developer, you can be a mobile developer, you can be a back-end engineer, you can be a DevOps. These are what you should have, basically. This is what you should have. If you want to choose a web developer, you should know what they call HTML, you should know CSS, you should know JavaScript. The good thing about JavaScript is a universal language. It's like when you understand English. When you understand English, you can stay in England, you can stay in US, you can stay in other country that speak English. You can stay in Nigeria, you can stay in Ghana. So JavaScript is like that. So if you know JavaScript very, very well, you can do a lot of things with it because it's like a universal language. And basically is used most time on the front end side of application. Although the backend still use it, but it's used most time at the front end of application. You understand? So there's another one we have. If you choose to be a mobile developer, you can choose to know what they call React, Angular, Vue for front end and mobile actually. So there is another one called React Native. So use that one for mobile app. Then we have Swift for if you choose to be a backend engineer, then you may decide to learn Python, learn Java, learn PHP. So, but here, I've actually put it that this one is compulsory. Irrespective of the one you want to choose here. If you want to be a backend engineer, I would advise you to not venture into Java straight. Java is an enterprise language. It's an enterprise solution. PHP is an open source. When you want to choose any language to write or any stack to write, in your tech parts, you understand? You have to look at what is the community like? How many people actually know this stack? If you go to Google now and you put it there, I said looking for PHP community, looking for Java community, you will see more than 100 PHP community where you only see 20 Java community. So I would advise you to start small and you progress. So even if you know PHP, this code that I've put here, I wrote it using PHP, and it solve problems. You understand? I also do Java actually, but then when I started this journey, I picked PHP because PHP is very, very easy to learn. And if you choose to be a backend engineer, you must know, at least you should be able to know MySQL, MariaDB. You should be able to know some database, query language. And so you can actually choose here the lowest hanging fruit here, which is very, very easy to know, is MySQL. And if you choose to be a DevOps engineer, then you must understand what they call Docker, and you must understand GitHub. In all, if you choose the software engineering part, you must know all these ones. These are good to have, but this is compulsory to have. You can decide to leave this one now, leave some of them now, and just choose this. As time goes on, you learn on the job. You learn all these ones on the job. But what you need to know, what you need to understand is this one. But why this one is good to have, this is very, very compulsory to have as a software engineer. Now we go to cybersecurity. So what they do, like I said, what they do basically is they secure our systems from being vulnerable, from hackers, from a lot of, from malwares, from, a lot of issues that may want to hijack the data they were trying to store to the database, or they were trying to use to predict, or to have, to have a predictive actions, to have anything that we are doing. You understand what I'm saying? So these are compulsory to have. Like, these are good to have. You should understand this. You should understand some of this, but these are compulsory to have. This .io is what they use. This is .io here. If you can see my screen, So what they use this one for is, for instance, everybody in the tech space needs to understand how to use this. What we use it for is to actually to illustrate to illustrate user story. You can use it to illustrate user story. You can use it to actually depict or kind of, you know, just do step by step what the user is trying to, you know, tell you to do. So you can say, okay, so the step starts from here and proceed to here and proceed to here. So when you finish this step, you are saying, okay, then you can move to this step. Then you can move to this step. You can move to this step like that. Like, so just to give a visualized flow of what you are trying to develop. So everybody in the tech system or in the tech field needs it, but the cybersecurity must understand how to use it very, very well, because that is what they use to like prototype, you know, their like prototype what they want to simulate. Because what they do is they first simulate whatever they want to do before doing that, because their own job is more is more sensitive. So you have to first use like draw the flow, make the stakeholder look at what they want to do before they actually implement it. So we have another one here called data science. Like I said now, all we are doing, all the system we are building now, everything is contributing to something we call data. On Facebook now, you yourself, you cannot even count number of data that you have. We have some people that have more than 2, 3, 4, 5 accounts on Facebook. Those are data. So as time goes on, you might need something to use that data for. For instance, like I said, this this analogy that I've used, this that I've done here, what I just did here is I wrote a script to go on the web and crawl a particular website and give me analysis of the trend, the salary trend of tech field, of software engineer, of cybersecurity from 2010 to 2050. And I was able to get those data. It's because people somewhere as you know, has provided the data somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? So so as a data science, you should be able to understand, you should know how to analyze things. You should know either a programming language called Python or R. You should be able to visualize data. That is what I've done here. I was able to visualize. Yeah, I don't even need to, if I send this to anybody, they'll be able to understand, okay, this is what this guy is trying to say. You don't, in fact, you don't even need me to be there. What I've done basically is I turned the data that is not easy to comprehend to a chart that is easy to comprehend. And that is basically one of the fantastic job of data scientists. So they should, for data analysis, should be able to use Tableau. So this what I've put here, Tableau can also do it, but I decided to use Python to run the whole thing. So Power BI can do it. You should be able to understand how to operate data management. You should know SQL. You should know Excel very, very well. The advanced skill, you should be able to have very strong analytics skill. You should be able to think, what is going on? Why is this going the way it's going? The next 10 years, what's going to happen? You should be able to have insights into issues. Then under that data science too, we have what we call machine learning. When you want to go into machine learning, you must understand mathematics very, very well. So this is why I'm saying that if you know your strengths in the SWOT personal analysis, analysis that we have shared, if you know your strength is not in mathematics, you don't like mathematics, just don't come here, because you are going to need mathematics skill to do extremely well in that field. You should understand programming language, even if it's a bit, for data analysis. Okay, so, sorry, for data science now, you should understand Python very, very well. You should understand all these machine learning model. You should understand data preprocessing, how you clean data, how you normalize data, and some other stuff like that. I'm trying to rush things because I want us to ask questions. So there's another one called business and analytics. So for a business analyst, so these are the guys that use data to actually inform, to they use data to actually to allow business to have a an informed decision on their products, on their services, even on the decision they want to make in business. You understand? So the basic the to have skill, like to have tools that you can use in this tech field is you should be able to understand how to use Excel very well, SQL, Python, even if it's not too strong. If your Python skill is not too strong, yeah, it can actually be it's actually negligible, because more of what they use there is they use more of Excel, and they use SQL. Sometimes they import their data from SQL to Excel or CSV file, and they use Tableau to analyze, create a dashboard on that. Then they use Power BI, like that. Then we have one of the strongest of them all, which is product design. So product design is actually all encompassing. So we have some of them we call them UI UX. So UI UX are the ones that will first do prototype, like what we build here. A UI UX designer will first build something like this, like a prototype that you will see it. When you look at some architects, and the architect will build, they call it plan. They will draw the plan, and when you look at the plan, sometimes you already know how the number of rooms where the toilet will be. So what you just need to do is just to give the design to the builder, or just to give the design to bricklayer. So even when they are not there, the work is going on. You understand? So under this product designer, we have some people that we call UI UX designer. So what they do is they prototype the whole solution, and so that they can actually present that to the client, or to the person that actually give the user story. That, are you trying to say this? Is this what you have in mind? And such people too also need to understand to know how they need to know how to use Draw.io. So as much as these are good to have for product designer, these are very, very compulsory to have. A product designer should be able to know how to ask questions, should be able to know how to make research, because their job is mainly for them to make research. After they've received the user story, their job is now to go ahead and ask people questions. You have been having this problem. For instance, the weather app that we just built now, you can actually, if a client give you a user story like that, you can actually go out and ask people. So if you have a kind of app like this, how will you feel? Will it solve your problem? Those are the feedback that they need to put in place to do their prototyping. Then whatever they come about, then they give that to the software engineer to start building. Then we have what we call copywriting, one of the most powerful tech field. It's called copywriting. Some of us does not even know what it takes. Some of us does not even know what copywriting is. And like I said earlier, I said tech is not only for people that code. Tech is only for people that know how to use Python, know how to use, know how to write Java. Even if you are the person, if you are the kind of person that can actually put on, like you can write, you are very, very good in writing. You are very, very good in using storytelling to market a product. If you are a kind of guy that when people read your writing, people they must shout, they must want to, they want to see what you are doing. Basically, they want to read when they start the beginning of your writing. They want to see what is going to be the end of these things. You are needed in this ecosystem, because what you are going to be doing basically is you are a content creator, you are a digital marketer. You are the ones that will like you are the face of that product on social medias. You are the one that will promote that application on social media. You are the one that will put a compelling words, a compelling write-up to that application. You are the one that will make people to say, oh, let me see what these guys are doing. In other parts, some people actually, like when it comes to tech, learning phase in tech, some people like to do video. So for instance, now what I'm trying to pass across now, if I actually put this on YouTube now, so people can go there, listen to the video, watch the video, and write everything out, and they put it on LinkedIn. So they know that some people does not know how to sit down to watch a video, But what they know how to do is to read something. You're also needed. We have a lot of companies that actually recruit tech copywriting, tech copywriters. We have a lot of them. We have EduX. We have a lot of tech companies that recruit copywriters because they have a lot of videos. Some of them have a platform. They have an online learning platform that's they that they have system. They have students that are registered there, and they watch the video. But they notice that some of the students does not even like to watch video. Some of them like to read stuff. Some of them like to read those things, those value that they put in the video. They love to see it in white and black. That is where you come in. In that way, you don't need to know how to write code. What you just need to do is to be able to your attention to details is needed. You must be able to look at the video, watch the video, even if it's 10 hours, watch it, and be able to put something out. So that if I don't watch that video and I just go on with your writing, I can actually understand what is in the video. You are needed. So these people are also people that actually do a lot in the social media space. We call them SEO enhancer. People that get user conversion on your applications. You understand? So these are what is good for them to have, but these are compulsory things they should have. A good copywriter should be able to design a landing page of WordPress. You should be able to use Google Analytics so that you can actually analyze people that come on the website, the number of time they use on that website before they bounce. So you can actually know the bounce rate or the retention rate of user base when they assess or when they're trying to assess an application, and give feedback to the stakeholder of how that system is doing at that time. We also have another one here called quality assurance engineer. So like I said here, these are the people that actually test the application. When you have finished building an application, they go there and test it. Is what is here? Is this what the user story is all about? Is this what the client is asking us to do? Have we put in place everything? And what they need to know how to do, what they need to have is, these are what they need to have. They need to be able to spot mistakes. In fact, in spellings, if there's any error in spelling, like for instance, this app that we built now, if you have done any mistake in spelling, probably want to write enter, we write entered. A QA engineer should be able to see that and ask the technical people or the people in charge of the application that built it to quickly go and correct that. No matter how small the mistake, it might be typographical error, it might be design error. So this quality assurance work directly with the front-end developer, the back-end developer, and product designer. So they have analytics skill, finding out why things are not working the way they're supposed to work. So, for instance, we build an app here that we say that when we build an app there, and what we put there is when so we say when user inputs a value, when user input a value here, it should give them this response. So they will test that, okay, since we are input numerical value, what if I input A? What will happen? Now it throws error. It said invalid input. Please enter a numeric value. So the system has already captured that error. So they will be the one. In case the system does not capture that error, they will be the one that will tell the developers that, guys, you have done something wrong. The fact that you are requesting from numerical value. What if the user inputs an alphabetical value? How do you undo that? They are the one that will give the developers use case scenarios. They are the user, basically. They are the first user. They are the ones that will see, they test the application. You understand? So these are the for them. Good to have. These are the good to have. I will actually share these documents. I will share these documents, and the organizer will find a way to send it across to us. And these are the compulsory to have for them. They should be able to use Jira. They should be able to know how to use Jira, because Jira is what they use for documentation. So, like I said here, we have two ways of testing applications. So we can decide to test application automatically or manually. So manually is when you test, when you go to the app and you register as a user and you test just to look for faults in that application. But manually is when you create or when you write a snippet or a code or a script to automatically test an application. And what we use for that is sometimes you can use Puppeteer. So Puppeteer is basically a JavaScript based testing tools. It builds on Node.js and Selenium too. Selenium is basically a Java kind of Java kind of automated testing tools. So you can either test your application using automatic by understanding how to use this. So for a QA tester, understanding these three tools is very, very important. You need to know how to use them. This Jira is what you will use to document your findings. Anytime you have issues, when you are testing the application and you have issues, you have to go to Jira and register the issues and link that issues to the technical people that will resolve the issues. So these are good to have and these are compulsory to have. So on this, I'll go back to the slide. And so having said all those things, there's a need for me to give us this heads up. And what I will say is, we have 4 degrees of action. You can decide to do nothing after listening to this webinar. You can say, what this guy is saying is just jargons. I don't want to do anything. I said this involves expending energy to analyze why one is inactive, possibly leading to overthinking and paralysis by analysis. So you have well, this guy is not communicating. Let me just I don't want to be in this space yet. Or what this guy is saying is just too ambiguous to me. Or you can say you want to take action in reverse. People that take action in reverse, they are people that they started acting, but they didn't finish it. They are people that find excuse of not doing something. He said this degree involves finding excuse to avoid moving forward, essentially sabotaging one's own progress. You look for excuse for your inability to continue. You may say, the society is not right for this thing. If I do it, who will buy it? I tell you, this simple app that we have built, one can actually fine-tune it and wrap it on a mobile app and put it on Play Store. I tell you, you'll be surprised about the number of people that will download it. I tell you, you'll be surprised about the number of people that will download it and use it on a daily, day in, day out activities, just for them to get informed when there's going to be rain or when there's not going to be rain. So in tech space, we have a lot of problems, a lot of challenges, a lot of situations to solve. We cannot overemphasize the values that we all need to bring together to add to this ecosystem. Like I said, it doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter who you are. I've studied more than 6-7 tech fields that you can do well in. You can also reach out to us to actually give you, probably if you need more, but then you don't need to say, before I will venture into tech, I need to be somebody that can write programs. No. I've shown you several ways that you can actually come into programming. You can say you want to be a copywriter. You can be a copywriter. You can be a product designer. In fact, you can even be a project manager. You can be a digital marketer. You can be a QA engineer. What you just need to know how to use is to know how to use Jira very, very well for your manual testing. Know how to pay attention to details. What people are not seeing, you're able to see it. We put out a flyers. We put out a flyers. So a couple of days back, and we started sharing the flyers. And somebody called my attention to it and said, there is an error in that flyers. And I was looking at it. The guy said, and I look at it, I couldn't see the error. And the person just screenshot that error and said to that, this is the error. Sorry. And I look at the error and I said, yeah, wow, this is error. That person can actually function well as a QA engineer. So, irrespective of what you have, I tell you, you need something to make you cross the bridge. There's a bridge there's a bridge in front of you. You need a resources. You need a skill that will enable you to cross that bridge. That skill must not be a programming skill. If you want to be in tech, you want to cross the bridge of tech, you can start from being a product designer. You can start from being a QA. You can start from being a copywriter. You would imagine, you would understand how much copywriters are collecting. They collect money in millions. I tell you, I have somebody that work with, I've forgotten the company. I used to read a lot of their tech book. They were in Nigeria, and the guy was working with the company in UK. The guy was collecting, I think, £2,500 per month. A copywriter. What the guy does is he's in charge of their LinkedIn. He puts like this guy is doing well for himself now. He's a copywriter. If you look at that, the guy does not know how to write simple function in code. He cannot write simple function. But I tell you, he's doing very, very well. And he's in tech. So it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. It doesn't matter your background. What needs to sustain is, number one, you have the passion. Number two, consistency. And I know if you're able to go through this, the sky will be your starting point.